Time to call the meeting to order. Start with the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, roll call.
Commissioner Salton.
Present.
Commissioner Michael.
Present.
Commissioner Money.
Present.
Commissioner Smith.
Here.
Mayor Jones.
Yes.
We have a quorum.
All right, this time I'd like to open up for public comment. State your full name and your address. Step up to the microphone.
My name is Michael Ginta, G-U-I-N-T-A. I have a contract with the village to purchase the improved lots in the towns of Braidwood. At the last board meeting, I addressed the issue about moving forward so that we could continue building out that subdivision. And I asked to join in on a executive session so that all these members of the board could discuss resolution to our issue. And to date, I haven't heard anything about setting up a time to meet so that we can all resolve this issue. I've offered 4 or 5 scenarios that would be good for both parties, some of which might sound a little stretched out there, but for the most part, they're good for both you and me and the village. And so at this point, I'd like to ask to participate in an executive session so that we can discuss these issues. All of you could be informed. And Mr. Mayor, are you in a position to say, yes, we're going to resolve this issue and invite me for an executive session?
Sure, we can talk about it. Executive session.
Can we do that today?
I would suggest sitting down with the administrative staff before we bring it to full council.
Do that or a work meeting or something.
Try to set up a date then.
Can we set up a date?
Yeah.
I hope it's soon.
Anybody else under public comment? Nobody else under public comment? All right, this time we'll close public comment. Next, Doug is going to present your release of the award.
George Weaver, he works for my department in the city of Braidwood. On January 22nd, George, an employee of the city, happened to be driving past a house where he noticed a woman who was in distress. He stopped to offer assistance to her, found out their toddler was stuck in the house with the door locked. George worked to get the door open for them so they can get to the toddler. Braidwood PD was there also with them. Both mom and child are doing fine. Just want to show this is a great example of people who will go out of their way to help their fellow neighbor here in town. I'd like to present this award as a small token of our thanks to George for going above and beyond that day. Thank you.
All right, thanks, George. There's nothing to report this week. Tony, you got anything?
I just report that talks with some of our prospective businesses coming into town are going very well. And hopefully in the beginning of March, we'll be bringing some to the zoning board for approval on them, and then to the city council not long after that. That's all I have.
We can go back to the approval.
Oh, okay.
Should also be noted, there's a typo for the minutes. It says January 12th, 2020. It is in fact January 12th, 2021.
I make motion, we accept the minutes as presented by clerk.
I'll second that.
Saltzman,
Yes.
Michael,
Yes.
Money,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Jones.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Yeah, you know what, if we can get two of us together, we want to set a date, Mr. Gint, otherwise, we have to call a special meeting, group meeting, special session on the other one, so, anyone says Mr. Jones would like to sit in on that, let me know after the meeting or tomorrow, and, we can set it up. If more of you want to get together, then we'll have to either do a work meeting or go into executive session during the next meeting. That's all I have.
All right. City clerk.
Just a couple of things tonight. In an effort to squeeze out every penny and reduce costs for the city, especially for supplies and paper, from here on out, you'll see a sign-in sheet on the end table there. Stacks of paper just end up getting thrown out. This way you can request an electronic copy sent to your email. This way the citizens get the government transparency that they want, and you can save money on paper and supplies, so it's a win-win for everybody. Secondly, water billing has been further streamlined with the addition of the automatic bill pay, so if you have not signed up for the automatic payments, I strongly urge you to do so. That segues into my third point. As was previously posted on our Facebook page, while I can't tell you not to, we strongly discourage the use of the Doxco.com third-party service as a way to pay your water bill. Doxco is a third-party service that is not affiliated with the city in any way. While they do send a check on your behalf, it usually takes about 5 to 7 business days to get to us, so some citizens may be incurring a late fee because of that. So that's why we encourage the use of our site. It's secure, it's immediate, and you also get a lot of added visual benefits. So you can see your water bill as far back as you want to go. There's even a nice little line graph that shows your pattern of usage. Additionally, there are, with automatic payments, there are no additional fees. One-time fees, one-time transaction fees, they do have, but if you sign up for automatic payment, that fee disappears. And finally, I'm making progress within my office to reduce the tornado of paperwork that I was thrown into. Business licenses that haven't been picked up were sent out in the mail. So every business that applies for a license should be checking their mail. My next priority is to issue the game licenses now that restrictions are eased. Reminder to business owners, gaming licenses will be available within the next week, and as well as the required stickers for each machine that you have in your establishment. And that brings me up to date.
All right, thank you. Dave Weber, you have anything?
Nothing to report, Mayor, but here to answer any questions you might have.
Thank you. Brian?
Real briefly, a quick COVID update. Nobody hadn't heard already from the news. We're going in the right direction. Will and Kankakee in Tier 1 resurgence mitigations, which means that indoor dining is available. All bars and restaurants can have up to 25 guests or 25% capacity in the room. The lesser of those two would apply. Same with social gatherings, 25 guests or 25% of the overall room capacity. And of course, masks are still encouraged everywhere, but good to see that businesses can be open legally around here. That's all, Mayor, thank you.
Any, Brian, you probably don't get to hear, but the vaccine stuff, I know I've signed up with Will County Health Department, and I haven't heard nothing. I've heard that there's not a lot out there, but they keep saying that Will County's allotted so much. Have you heard anything at all?
The only thing that I've heard is from the Will County executive. She posted the pharmacies that the county has partnered with. I think it's Walgreens and Jewel, if I'm not mistaken. So I would, I guess, contact those guys first for availability. Outside of that, I have not heard any of those.
Thank you.
You got Brian?
That's all, Mayor, thanks.
All right, thank you. All right, Wayne, accounts and financing.
Okay, most important part of the bill meeting, pay the bills and payroll. And what I got first here? Well, at that Alliance meeting, I get fined for being late doing what I'm doing here. Okay, we're gonna pay the bills. Guys did a real good job not spending a whole lot of money. Make a motion that we pay the bills of $50,241.90. I make that motion.
Have a second.
Saltzman,
Yes.
Michael,
Yes.
Money,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Jones.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, motion to pay payroll amount of, make that motion, $80,291.27. I make that motion for payroll.
A second.
Saltzman,
Yes.
Michael,
Yes.
Money,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Jones.
Yes.
Motion carries.
One thing before, if you know anybody, with, that needs help in the food pantry, it's been quite a slow. I've talked to Kuzma, they have experienced the same thing. I don't know if it's because, there's a lot of either money out there, or there's, people that are telling other food and stuff like that. But anyway, I know there's a lot of people out there that are proud and they feel ashamed. And if you know anybody, send them up, your neighbors, whatever. We don't check, when you come in, you are just a number in that, see, so we don't, I don't care if you drive an Escalade or Model T4, anyway, you're welcome. Oh, I'm sorry. That's all I have. But let's take advantage of what the community has to offer for our people. We've got so much stuff donated. We got, yesterday we got 100 cases of Tennessee Pride sausage rolls from Walmart because they got lost in our freezer. And then we got a call that send an extra vehicle, and by golly, we had to, because I couldn't believe how much stuff we got, so. But, we only had 10 families show up today. Terrible. That's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
All right. Thanks, Wayne. All right, Fay. Need some public improvement.
Yeah, we had a little snow, they were ready for a big one, but they was disappointed, I guess. But when they got everything ready for it. And they work as long as they know to be moved. And they do, I go around check, I check the people where people believe it or not, I check to see what they've done. And they do as good a job as our equipment will let them do. Okay, that's all I have.
All right. Public buildings and property.
Thank you.
Doug?
We did 17 locates, 73 shut-off tags, 2 sewer inspections on a sewer tap, 2 water taps, 6 new meter installs, 2 meter repairs, 50 meter reads, 10 water shut-offs, 3 buffalo box repairs, 5 new MXUs. They helped plow snow and worked on the trucks. At the water plant, they fixed 4 water valve riser boxes. Both generators were serviced and load tested there. We had a drive unit go out at the clarifier. They switched clarifiers. They sent out the gearbox. We were able to swap it out for the clarifier, and they were able to get that one all replaced and put the old one back on the shelf after they got it all fixed. They finished their reports over on Oak Ridge area. They put a new high water alarm float in. They adjusted the floats at Pheasant Run, backed out the headworks, and replaced all the UV bulbs. And now they're cleaning all the tubes. That's a project they do in the winter time. That's all I have.
All right, thanks, Doug. All right, public health and safety.
Yes, I'd like to make a motion to approve the ordinance authorizing the execution of an intergovernmental agreement between the County of Will and the City of Braidwood to provide the City of Braidwood communication system access to Will County 800 MHZ's county-wide radio system.
I'll second that motion.
Just so everyone knows, this is the agreement that Josh Bellato was talking about. The last meeting, it's a contract that would allow ESDA and any other City of Braidwood personnel access to the radio system till 2027. There's no fees involved, no monthly fees, no compensation for access. The city has to purchase the equipment that's compatible with it and take a training course, I believe. But otherwise, there's no real obligation on the city's part. On top of that, we can terminate the agreement with 6 months written notice to the county if we already want to get out of it.
That's all I have, Mayor.
We would need to take a vote on it.
Call for vote.
Saltzman,
Yes.
Michael,
Yes.
Money,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
motion carried.
All right, thanks. We don't have anybody from planning and zoning this week. Anybody got anything under old business?
Yeah, Mayor, I got something, if you don't mind me speaking. All right, come up to my podium. I received a FOIA request last week about our drug calls for service. And I've heard from a couple people in town that we are not taking care of our drug problem now since I've been the chief for 2 years now. So what I did is I met with the fire chief. He gave me a full report, and I took a look at our reports, and I wanted to see where we were at. So since March of 2019 to the end of this year, November 21st, 2020, we've responded as a police agency to 30 drug overdose calls. Now, with that being said, it sounds like an awful lot, 30 drug overdose calls, and it is. But the first one that happened in March 26th was a 7-year-old possibly overdosed on vitamins. And then 2 months later, we had a subject we responded to assist fire that had too much medication. And then a month later, a possible heroin overdose. In June of 2019, a possible overdose on prescription. And then July 25th, a 70-year-old male had taken too many pain pills. And then late July of 2019, a possible heroin overdose. Officer arrived on scene. I got subjects conscious and breathing. And then in September of 2019, a female took a cab of GHB. Okay, and then later on that month, a possible heroin overdose, 2 cans of Narcan administered. Later on the same day, not an overdose call, but a subject was drinking. He was possibly having some withdrawals. On the 27th, there was a suicide attempt for overdose on insulin. And then again, September 28, 2019, in overdose prescription meds, the subject was tired. And then October, another overdose possible on meds. It's a medical call. And then we had another overdose. So a lot of our calls, when you hear 29 calls, I think 12 or 13 were possible heroin overdoses. And multiple ones were of the same people. So I'm here around town that, oh, we got this drug problem. It is being taken care of. And whenever we get a drug tip, we contact a task force who is in charge, and this is all they do, is drug investigations. So instead of having them come to, someone from another town come to Braidwood and we make the arrest, we contact this task force and they make that same arrest, but they make it in another jurisdiction. So it's still getting done. We're still doing our job as a police department. We handle every complaint. And then, a couple times we've had an overdose where our officer responded on a body camera. And again, I've called the families and invited them to come down to watch the body camera footage to see what they look like when they overdosed and they were saved. So I just want to get this information out there. We are doing our job as an agency. Does anybody have any questions about this stuff, this topic? No. So I think that kind of summarizes it up. I just want to kind of nip that. I'm hearing some rumors, and again, we've got some FOIA requests. So when you hear that we've had 29 drug overdoses, some of them were vitamins, and some of them were prescription meds. So a couple years ago, my oldest son was going to buy a house, and I told him, I said, and not knowing what's going on in Braidwood, I said, I don't know if I'd buy in Braidwood. I said I'd probably buy in Coal City or Wilmington. Since I've been the chief for 2 years, every morning I come in and I see the calls that we have for service. And we evaluate every call, every case gets investigated. And I'm going to tell you right now, Braidwood is a great place to live and it's safe. We've had no robberies, no carjackings, no violent crimes. It is a very safe community to live in. If anybody has any questions, feel free to contact me anytime. I have an open door policy. I will return your phone call or I will see if you come to the police department. That's it. Anything? Thank you.
Thanks, Todd. Anybody got anything on their new business? All right, our next regular meeting is Tuesday, February 9th, 2021. We'll need a motion to adjourn.
I make that motion.
I'll second.
Dalton,
Yes.
Michael,
Yes.
Money,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Jones.
Yes.
We are adjourned.
Thanks,